And welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly neighborhood TV show all about premium cigars.
We are, after 10 years, we're still friendly?
Yes, absolutely. And we need
That's not easy.
We need a new opening, though.
I just gave you one, and
That
you
was
refused
horrible.
it.
It was horrible, that's why.
The one you had is pure brilliance.
No, that's at the end.
God, the
That's at the
Screen
beginning.
Actors Guild is back at work.
We're-
The writers' strike is over.
Just go straight to the end.
That's the reason
That's
for
the-
That's
No.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. So, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Good
You're
to be
welcome.
back.
It's October already. What the hell? That's ridiculous.
And you know what?
it
What's
feels
weird
like
is the
there's
same
no
thing.
fall.
The same thing happened last year, though.
At this time.
Yeah, it just
Every year.
right after September, October.
Oh, it just comes right along.
Yeah.
I didn't. There wasn't much. I didn't. Aside from a week or two here or there, it wasn't really that hot over the summer.
No.
In fact, like
yes, you're
my
correct.
grass never. Every year, my grass turns brown, and it did not this year.
Yeah, it wasn't that hot this year. Hopefully, the winter will not be that cold.
Hopefully, hopefully it will be right around 31 degrees, and we get tons of snow.
No snow.
No, thank you.
No snow.
Hopefully, we get tons of snow.
Nope.
You do know the more I want snow, there's a reverse, like.
Then
Okay.
You
want
and
it a
30
lot.
billion other people say that.
Exactly. So, today we are doing a blind smoking.
So Piz is bringing out the blinds.
That means we smoke until we
blind.
smoke ourselves
I already
blind.
know what it is.
You know what it is already.
Can tell.
What are you, 0 for 12 when we've been doing these?
Oh, I know what it is. too.
I can't say that.
I know what it is.
I guessed the last time.
I think I know what it is, but I can't think of the name of it.
I don't care what it is as long as it's good.
Well, in case you can't see, it is a box pressed cigar.
Looks like a box press Corona.
Yeah, how
what it
many of
looks
these
like.
are in there?
Or maybe a 400.
400 what?
That's a particular cigar in a particular size.
You mean the La Unica?
That's what I'm thinking.
La Unica is darker than this, I believe.
Well, if it's Leunica, I'm sure I'm not getting it because I don't know the last time I've had one. Uh-oh. Nope, hey.
You thought there was no hay?
I thought I smelled something different for a second there. I'm actually getting a little bit sweeter tobacco.
If it's what I think it is, it's mostly vinegar.
So none of us know what this
Interesting.
cigar is.
We do not.
Oh, I think I do.
Do you think?
But I'll take it on its own merits.
Just
Okay.
based on looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Just looking at it,
Well,
it's hard to.
It's hard to find an unrecognizable cigar.
This
I
is
know what this
unrecognizable.
is.
I mean, how many
I know
Coronas
what
do we
this
have?
is.
How
It's a
many
cigar.
box-pressed Corona
Box-pressed-
Maduros do we have?
What'd you
It's
say?
a cigar.
It's a cigar. Yeah.
I know what it is.
You don't know what it is. It's too small for you.
Yeah, I know.
So it's half a cigar.
Yes, it is.
half. Well, I think less.
Glue two of them together.
I actually kind of like this.
This is nice.
So how about them Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles.
I was actually in Tampa for the Monday night game last week, and it was a home game. It was.
Everybody there was.
I heard reports that it was like officially 59% of the fan base were Eagle fans, but I believe that to be a low estimate.
Really?
Not kidding.
Wow.
It
Were
was
you-
green.
Were you in the parking lot?
There was
I
no
know
park,
you were-
There is no parking lot.
No.
No, there's not. There's grass.
What?
There's grass.
You park on grass there.
You park on grass.
Really?
Yep. There was one like lot that held maybe 1,000 cars, maybe 500, but we walked all around the whole thing, and all of the tailgating, by the way, were Eagles fans, and it was all grass. It was very odd. Unless there was a parking lot, like no, we were way up top. We could see all around the stadium. It was not to knock Tampa or their stadium or anything, but man, like you go up the stairs, you know, like as you go anywhere, and then you go over to where the seats are.
Yeah.
It was that wide. So if if somebody wants to come down and you want to go up,
You can't.
like you got to stop, or you have to. The two of me can't fit. It was. I mean, I was just thinking in like there was an emergency or something.
That was cool.
That is kind of cool.
Look how it's reacting to the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to make a call. So anyway, it was pretty cool. And it rained, which was kind of awesome because it was hot.
Yeah, they said the game time temperature was 90 degrees, but with the humidity and everything like that, it was 101, the real field temperature.
Yeah, and the Tampa fans, as soon as it started to rain, and
Yeah.
I'm talking like a minute after, they headed for the hills. They're like, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, that's because in Tampa, when it starts to rain, it could be a deluge for 10 or 15 minutes.
No, not even close.
It rained for a considerable amount of time, didn't it?
Not really. Seemed like maybe 15 minutes.
Really? It
Yeah, it
seemed
didn't-
longer than that on TV.
Well, I mean, it could have been. It didn't seem that long to us. But
So I just heard this morning that last tropical storm that just blew through a few days ago dropped 6 inches of rain in some parts of New Jersey.
Yeah, 7.5 at the Jersey Shore.
Wow.
That's a lot of rain. But thank goodness it wasn't snow, or it would have been 5 feet.
Yeah.
That's
10,
too bad.
10
That was
inches of
cool.
snow for every inch of rain.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
horrible.
really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Why'd you-
A little like the
Run your
media.
mouth?
Yeah.
All right, let's get our first impressions, since it is still first impressions.
Too small.
Too small. Well, that's an impression.
It's very tasty. I'm enjoying it.
All right. This isn't going to be well. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm enjoying it. I find that it has very, very, very light pepper. It's got a little molasses note, I guess, from the Maduro wrapper, but it's subtle, but it's there, and some nuttiness, which I really like.
That's just the smoker.
Well, there's that too.
Are you sure that's Maduro?
Yeah, I won't. I can't swear that it's a Maduro.
I think it's a
It's. I think it's
natural
because.
Maduro.
I think it's because it's these lights. I don't know. It's.
Mine doesn't look. Paul, let me.
I will tell you it's not a Maduro.
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't
then-
look like a Maduro.
Then I have to reassess everything
Go back to the fields, Paul, will you?
where I belong.
Before it becomes Maduro.
Well,
That's
if
where
you
your
wait
that's
long
where your
enough,
expertise
You're
lies.
just like the farmer outstanding in his own field.
That's me.
Scott, what are your first impressions?
It's very tangy. Like, I don't know if it's citrusy or lemon or orange or grapefruit. I don't know, but it's tangy to me.
Okay. I'm not getting a tanginess at all. I am getting the pepper on the front of the tongue, though.
Very light.
Yeah. I'm getting a Nicaragua taste from it. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't retrohaled yet.
Could this be a?
Don't say. Don't say.
Okay.
I don't want to be influenced by
By anything I say.
anything. Well, no, that's not true. You know that for a fact. I ask you question upon question every day.
Sometimes I even have an answer.
So what's going on? Anything? Do you have events coming up?
Yeah, actually, this Friday we have the Argonosa blending event with Mike King. And that's
should
going
be
to be.
cool.
Yeah, I would like to go to one of those. It's going to be in Oxford Valley from 3 to 6, and then next Tuesday in Phoenixville, Tuesday the 10th, there's the Esteban Carrera. You know what? I didn't write the time down, but I'm sure it's 3 to 6, 3 to 7, something like that.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
odd.
You know what? I think we are the only stores in the area that do, for the most part, that do Friday events. Most of the events that I see are on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's got a second one.
It had a baby.
It's hard to blow a smoke ring with tobacco, like cigar tobacco.
It's not.
It's not. It's
It's not as easy as a cigarette.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, cigarettes are made to burn fast and put out a lot of smoke. Cigars are made to burn slow and put out a lot of smoke.
So this is your entertainment for the day. Us
Smoking.
making holes of smoke.
Yeah, smoke. Just doing smoke rings.
Did I ever tell you about the smoke ring machine at the World's Fair in 1964?
No, that'd be a good time to tell us.
Back then, a company called General Cigar,
Is it the General Cigar now?
I think so,
Okay.
but they had an exhibit at the World's Fair about the history of tobacco and stuff. The whole building was round. It was 1 story tall. And on the roof of this building was a smoke ring machine that would, about every 5 minutes, shoot out a smoke ring that was 40 or 50 feet in diameter, and it would go straight up about 1,000 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't
With a
make one that
huge
big.
noise. It would go whoosh, and this gigantic smoke ring would just shoot. It was very cool.
Meanwhile, we find out that like it was radiation and
Probably. Probably
pretty cool.
shot birds right out of the sky.
right.
Where was that? In New York?
In New York, I guess the neighborhood would be called Flushing. It's Flushing, Queens.
You sure it wasn't a bunch of Indians trying to set up smoke rings to get, bring reserves or something like that?
Yeah, to bring the rest of
To
the
bring-
cavalry.
Yeah.
The Native Americans.
Come back and take
That's
our
a
land.
racist remark that I don't agree
Come
with.
back and take them away.
Here we go again.
Stop it.
No, we were talking earlier about before the show about athletes who just get it, like in Philadelphia, and I was talking about how Bryce Harper is one of them. I think he gets this city better than any athlete that's ever been here. Like, 'cause he's plays for the Phillies. He's an MVP, and he's walking around with I don't know if it were socks or his cleats. But I just showed a picture of just his shoes, and they were supporting the Eagles. He had Eagles cleats or something like that. Like, you know what? He just gets it. I hope Jalen Hurts goes out with Phillies socks or something.
I think I saw him with a Phillies hat on one time.
There you go. Somebody else used to do that. There was another. I'm sure Mike Trout was at the game. He's a huge Phillies or Eagles
Eagles
fan.
fan, yeah.
Yeah.
So have any of you guys noticed that more and more cigar companies are using strange, obscure tobaccos in their cigars just to make the blends more interesting?
Such as?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Amazon Basin with that rare Braganca tobacco that they get out
Yeah.
of the jungle. Or you could also talk about the Mortal Coil, which actually, surprisingly enough, has Yagua aged tobacco in it, kind of like the Yagua cigar from.
Do you want to explain what Yagua is?
Yeah, 'cause I don't even know if I know.
A Yagua is actually a stiff, dried out palm leaf, and what they do is they roll the cigars up in the palm leaf and age it in that, and it changes the whole chemistry of the aging,
Right.
and it
How many-
winds
how
up
many-
with a stronger tobacco.
How many cigars do they put in that? Or is it the tobacco? Do they put the finished cigars in it?
Yeah,
Or
they
okay.
age the finished cigars.
How many do they put in a
Yeah.
Yagua leaf?
25, 30.
Oh, okay.
That actually makes sense because if you, we can see some places they'll put the cigars, not age it, but they'll put cigars in cardboard, and it's like, well, now the cigar's going to taste like cardboard.
Yeah, yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Not
I
a
think
good
Davidoff
idea.
used to do that, and it's like, well, wait a minute, now, because the cigars they'll suck up their environment. In fact, I actually had cigars in a cigar bag, and I put it in just needed some place to set it, so I put it where candles go, and so they were in the bag, and the cigars through the bag smelled like they smelled and tasted like candles. It was a scented candle, obviously. It was tobacco scented, but still.
Even an aged cigar is still chemically active. There are things going on inside the cigar, and as long as there's chemical activity, it's going to interact with whatever's in its environment.
Yeah. You also have I don't know if I don't remember the name or can't pronounce it, but that tobacco that I think La Aurora started doing it, where they take the tobacco and they basically put it in a log and age it in the ground. It's like
I'm not familiar
Never
with
heard
that.
of that.
yeah, it's like a big it's like a big thick.
Like a Dora flame log? Sort of.
Yeah, sort of, but they just
So
keep,
they compress it together
yeah.
and age it in like a chunk.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. I want to call it.
Must have been a day I wasn't
Well,
here.
me either. I don't remember ever hearing that.
That is
man.
totally new to me, and I don't get to say that very often.
Yeah, shoot, I really wish I could remember the name of it. It's like Ara something. Look it up.
Well,
Google
you
it. Not
don't mean
Arapiraca.
Arapiraca.
No, that's
That's Brazilian.
right, and that's the name that pops into my head, but I know it's not that. Yeah, I saw it. La Aurora came up with it, and there was a small company when I was at the trade show.
You're not talking about the andouille. It's
Like the sausage?
I was gonna say, isn't that a sausage?
But there's also andouille tobacco.
Okay,
And
what's
it's,
that?
It's Dominican, and it's an odd breed of tobacco. It's different. They ferment it differently, and that might be the log thing. I'm not sure exactly what they do with it.
I don't know, but it was like, I don't know, like that long and like that thick. It was just,
Maybe it
And I
was a cigar, and you were just supposed to smoke it.
yeah, right. But I did. Like I said, I see this, but I don't understand. I couldn't figure out how they used it because it almost looked like it had the consistency of a Duraflame.
Right.
I couldn't. I'm like, so do you like shave pieces off and put it in there? Do you carve it? That's the thing I couldn't quite. I mean, they didn't because it's kind of.
You put it on a vertical stick.
Yes,
and
there
you
you go.
slice it.
Yeah, like a Brazilian
shawarma.
steakhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
Like shawarma meat. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I know you guys. I know we've talked about this before.
I've never heard that before.
Never
ever.
heard of it.
You have.
Another kind
I do not recollect.
Another kind of obscure tobacco is used in the Firewalker cigar, and it comes. This tobacco is only grown in western Nicaragua, which is away from all of the normal growing regions, and they have a very unusual way of fermenting this tobacco. They go near a volcano where there's hot volcanic soil. They dig a deep hole, and they put the bales open of tobacco down in the hole and bury it in the hot volcanic soil. So of course it ferments down there,
Quickly, I would imagine.
but it ferments very differently because in that environment there's way less oxygen. So it's what they call anaerobic fermentation instead of aerobic fermentation.
Right.
And it yields a very different flavor profile. So that's another unusual tobacco.
Don't they take a risk of that though? It has to be hot, like unbelievably hot. Would it, if it gets too hot, would it burn the tobacco?
They don't go like by the lava. It's just the ground is hot.
Okay.
Not hot
That's
enough to
interesting
set
because
it on
that
fire.
combined with the natural fermentation and the heat buildup from the chemical and the reactions and the pressure of it, they probably have thermometers just jammed in there.
They're checking all the time.
Yeah.
That would age it very quickly. or
Yeah, they
turn
only
it very
they
quickly.
only ferment it for about 6 months that way.
Actually, because I'm told that bales can self-combust, but if there's no air down there, I guess that
It
would
won't
keep
catch
it.
Yeah, it
fire.
won't
Yeah.
It won't literally catch
Right.
fire because there isn't
There's no
enough
oxygen,
oxygen
no.
to
It'll just
support it.
over compote, I guess, if it's
Yeah.
left in there too long.
It'll turn into compost,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to spread it around your garden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Although I'd much rather smoke good tobacco than
Yeah,
waste
yeah.
it in the garden.
yeah.
Well, maybe it'll grow.
Another example of obscure tobacco that's being used, or used to be used.
Well, wait a second, before you say the
Stuff
next
from
one,
Connecticut?
the next ones, they're all from the same company. all
yeah,
CAO
actually, all three
products.
of them, and there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Rick Rodriguez decided before he left CAO to make that a project, to
Right.
find unusual, obscure tobaccos that had something about them worth including in a blend,
Right.
but would give it a profile that was unique.
You know, doesn't that kind of follow suit with a lot of the blends that he launched before those specific cigars? Like, I mean, there's always, it came out the Brasilia, the Americana, the Columbia, the Italia.
He's been about
Brazilian.
that on a certain level
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah, now he's doing Tampa.
That's
Just the
pretty
west
obscure.
part.
Yeah,
Just
just the
West
west part of
Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting a company, East Tampa
Out,
Cigar
out in the
Company.
Pacific. Yeah.
Get the next
There
one.
is another. Nobody's using it anymore, but there's a
Connecticut.
tobacco called. Well, it's called a lot of different things, but the real name of it is Hoja de Pantano, which means leaf from the swamp. And
Magus.
maggots. That is a tobacco that's also truly unique. It grows in a swamp. The roots are not even in the soil. It just grows. It's wild. It's not cultivated by anybody. And the Indians that live, or the native Central Americans
Okay, stop.
that live in the swamp, pick it while they're paddling around in their canoes, hunting and fishing, because that's how they support themselves. They pick that tobacco, they hang it under their huts, because their huts are up on stilts to keep it out of the swamp. So they hang the tobacco there, they let it dry, and they roll their own cigarettes out of it. Except one guy came along and discovered this by accident and decided to turn it into a cigar instead of cigarettes.
You're not saying one guy.
Some
His
guy.
name was Paul Major.
Well, yeah, it was.
What the hell is that?
Swamp tobacco.
And I found that tobacco totally by accident.
Is he related to Major Village?
Is he related to that guy who works at Cigars?
Yeah, it's
on TV?
distantly related. But yeah, that was my tobacco, and that was my cigar made out of it. And it was actually the first of the truly obscure tobacco cigars. In fact, Rick will tell you that part of his inspiration for what he calls the Arcana series, for
Right.
arcane tobaccos,
Right.
part of the inspiration for that was the Magus cigar, which I guess impressed him quite a
If
bit.
you're looking for any cigars has about 1 million of them.
Of the Magus?
No, the Mortal Coil and the
The
Firewalker.
Arcane.
Oh, more, yeah, the stuff from the Arcane.
The Mortal Coil. Do you like that cigar?
It's okay.
I like it a lot.
Moose, do you like that cigar?
Yes, I do.
Didn't you pick that as
I
your best
absolutely,
cigar of the year?
I absolutely love that cigar. I can't smoke enough of them. Seriously,
It's a good thing.
it's a good thing because good thing we got a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we
did. We did get a lot of them. I remember saying that too.
Shut up. It is a great cigar. It really is. And if you smell it, it smells like wine. It has
Yeah.
a very distinct wine smell to it, and the flavor. I think it's really good. All right, we have to come up with a. What do you think are the cigar, Moose, and put a number on it, and then we'll guess after we put numbers on
As
it.
everybody else said, I get the pepper. I get a little bit of citrus.
Mhm.
I'm not sure exactly what kind of citrus, but citrus. Smokes well. Burns evenly. It's well constructed. I give it a. Are we putting a number on
Yeah.
it now? I give it a 9.
Okay, Paul.
I actually like this cigar quite
Yeah,
a
me
bit.
too.
It's on the milder side strength-wise, so it's kind of an easygoing cigar, but it's got plenty of flavor. It makes great smoke rings. I give it a 9.2.
A 9.2, not
Yeah.
9 also.
Right, 9.2.
Okay. Scott.
I get the tanginess. That's it. Rating?
Can't go like 7.5.
7.5.
7.5. Really?
This car's horrible.
You don't like it?
It's horrible. I don't like it at all.
Really? Interesting.
No.
Okay. That's fine. You
That,
don't
that
have- you
either
don't
that
have to.
laugh either means I am completely wrong. It is a Padron, or I'm like,
It's not a
yeah,
not a
Padron.
Padron.
pretty good.
It's not a Padron.
Definitely not a Padron.
Cigar that I know you like and you smoke all the time.
I see. Now you're confirming what I think it is. I really like the cigar. I've never had it. It's unusual because it's a box press Corona. I really like it. I'm getting through the retrohale. I'm getting a nice cocoa flavor from it. I'm getting a hint of citrus, like on the sides of my tongue, not down the center or anything like that. The front of my tongue. I'm definitely getting the pepper. I give this a 9.2 also, 9.25, whatever.
I don't have a clue what
I think
this
it's
is.
really good.
I have an idea.
I have an idea what I think it is. Moose, let's go with you.
I have no clue. Honestly,
have
I
no
have
clue?
no clue what it is.
I was gonna.
You have
First, I was gonna say it was one of those Sindicato cigars, and then I went with. Then I thought it was like a Curly Head Deluxe
You like it that
or a
much?
Brevis, but then I'm like, no, it's not Maduro, so I don't know. Evidently, it's something I smoke a lot, but I don't.
It is.
I can't think of something
If it's what
this
I think
size
it
that I
is.
smoke.
If it is, Paul, what do you think it is?
Oh no!
I think it's a Rocky Patel from the Vintage series.
No, I'm going to
I
tell you
know
what
it
I
is.
think it is.
El
I think it
Dorado.
is the El Dorado Corona.
2 for 2.
There it is.
I got it before you though. I
No,
said it.
no,
I said
no,
it before
no,
you.
no, no, no.
Yes, I did.
Absolutely
I
not.
said it before you.
Nope.
Check the tape.
Quite nice.
Absolutely not. I think it's the El Dorado Corona. It's a brand new cigar, just came out. And you confirmed it for me. I was thinking that the whole time.
That's why.
And
I
when you
couldn't
said that
figure it
he
out.
smokes
I
them
never
all the
smoked one.
time, I know he smokes the Dorados
But
constantly.
not the Corona.
No.
We just
but-
got the Corona
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, I got to put them on the 50 off table now.
Well, you hate this cigar.
7.5.
7.5. You're on the record. Show the tape.
Yeah, I'm also. Go ahead. I'm also on the record saying what it is before you.
No, stop.
You saw. You
You
never
said it,
admit
but you weren't right with your cigar. You said it was something else.
No, I said I have no clue, and then I said, oh,
Yeah. No. That's 2 for 2, or
Red
2
pepper.
of the last 2. Yeah.
Hot red pepper on the retro.
Yeah.
Like big time.
That's
sorry,
good. That's really
Johnny. Don't watch this, will you?
good. I think it's a really good cigar.
Like a 9.2.
There's one problem with it. It smokes very
You
quickly.
know, all of a sudden it got really good. I changed my mind.
That one puff turned the corner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It
must be what
smokes
I
very,
had
very
this-
quickly, I think.
What's a
Well,
Corona?
it's Corona.
But it's really good, too.
It's
So.
not super tightly packed, although it smokes evenly. It draws nice.
Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget the events. Friday, you said the Aganorsa event,
In Oxford Valley.
Oxford Valley.
And
3 to
Esteban
6.
Carrera next Tuesday in Paho NXville.
Great. And
I
don't
hope.
forget to watch our
Outlet show.
outlet
coming
show
up.
coming
Life's
up
too
in
short to
uh,
smoke
got
cheap
'em.
cigars.
8 seconds.
Smoke off and smoke happy.
Ciao for now, everybody.